Alright, you guys, so with the help of Evan today, we will discuss the differences of the design options we have in Expo and React Native Expo. So, as you see, we have we have a function here. This is how React. This is how the Expo app accepts our code to display stuff on the screen. Now, so with the help of Evan today, I will explain to you how you can define things in kind of the most in my opinion, it's one of the best ways you can write it because it's nice and it's visible and probably transferable from your JavaScript because like I learned a little bit of JavaScript before, and after learning this method, it was the most easiest and kind of understood. It made a lot of sense because there's something called JSX, and when we've been learning with ChatGPT, we've specifically said not to use the JSX. And I ask it when I ask the ChatGPT, I ask it specifically. I tell it, if you can, write it everything outside of the function, the main root component. Make the styles outside of all the components. Define all the styles outside of the component, and here we will show what this default export is. So, in my opinion, this is kind of the best way, especially for the main beginner projects. So let's just run this real quick. We're gonna call this 16 design options. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna call this design options. Oops. I'm gonna go to our phone app real quick. Oops. Okay. So you got our design options here. Let's kind of let's do container. Color red. Flex 1. Flex 1. We want to make container flex. Well, it's not working. Okay, that's why probably. Okay, yeah. Height. We're gonna make this null. It's not showing, that's the funny part. That is the question. Question is why? How come it needs this? If say we put this already here. Flex. Background color red. Key red. No. Key blue. Key blue. Flex one. All right. Let's go back to ChatGPT real quick. Try to figure out this stuff. Height, width, flex 0. That's probably what we need. Does this look? What does this look like to you? All right, so we're still trying to learn with the ChatGPT. Okay, got Jerry in the back over there, drinking the water. Some issues. Keys in styles. All right, so Jerry's, by the way, is the dog over here. We got dog over here. We call him. His name is Jerry. All right, so you guys check it out. So there are some issues. Keys and styles. Key does not belong inside a style sheet. Key is not a style property. React ignores it here. If you want keys, you pass them as a prop, not in style sheet. Correct way. Okay, the question is, why do you need key in the prop if there is already a background color though? Good instinct. It looks like key and background color are doing the same job. Then find the box. But React, they have completely different purposes. Background color, style property. Tells React, paint this view or view red or blue. Purely visual. If you swap the two boxes, React doesn't know they swapped. It just sees two elements with different styles. And may throw one away and re-render the other. Key is a special React only prop, not visible part of styles. Used only when rendering rendering arrays of children. Tells React this child is the same as one before, just maybe moved or updated. Prevents unnecessary recreation of components. Why both are needed? Let's imagine this array. Create background color. Now, if you swap them in the array, with key React, with key React says, oh, the red one with key 1 just moved. Don't destroy it. Just change its color. Without key, React says, first child is blue, must destroy and create a new blue. Okay, that's interesting. So the background color only paints the box, but key tells React which box cross. You need key sometimes because React cares about identity, not color. Okay, fine. Key is an invisible ID that helps reconcile efficiency. Okay. Is it possible to make this null and no props in the children? Yes. All right. Okay, there you go. This is exactly what we wanted. All right, so our design options for this one so far, and this is kind of what personally I like the best, you know, and that's and that's to keep everything outside. Let's go to your snippet. Extra. Save key. Okay, so now it's null, which is what. So I think the best is that, you know, for the beginning projects, that you ask it to put it, to make sure all the components are outside the root, component, that style sheet is outside all the styles in the component. That the that props are null. What else? And that all the components and all components are defined outside of the root component. Okay. So, and no JSX and pure React native, and no arrow functions. Okay, so this is what I think will be helpful for any beginner, that you ask and export default at the end. All right, so that's what I think is the best for you guys, is to have the ChatGPT write you your code like this if you're using the ChatGPT, especially to learn. That is import like this, whatever. Import like this. This is a specific import. I'm still trying to figure out the name of this. But if you know, write down in the comments. However, no JSX, pure React Native, no arrow functions. All the components should be defined outside of the root component. We got our root component. It should have, the props should be null. The style is outside the styles in the component. So the style sheet, all the styles should be outside of the styles. All style sheet is outside, and all the styles should be defined outside all the components. So all style sheet is outside, and all the style sheet is outside, and all the styles should be defined outside all the components, and export default at the end. All right, so that is the main design options that I think all, if you guys are beginners, should start like this. It's kind of really cool. And this is what made me kind of understand it more, you know. And just remember always that the components, they have a specific signature to them, and that is like what I want to show you right now. Let me show you exactly the component. Export default. This is the main signature of the components. So you got create React component, type, props, children, like we had in the array. When there's multiple, they're inside the array, which is cool because apparently we learned from ChatGPT that the arrays can even have functions inside them in JavaScript. Okay, well, this is really cool, honestly. Write down your questions. Just remember that the reason we write this thing like this is because this is the root component. It's the thing we pass into the export default. The style sheet is a utility, it's not a component. However, this is like the syntax, how we write it, and this is the signature over here. So just remember, we have to write the app, the React component like this. Oops. Wait, this is not the right app. We have to write the root component like this, and our export default exports that app to the actual application. So this is what our program looks like now. It's really cool. So like I told you guys, make sure you ask your ChatGPT, whatever, if you're learning with ChatGPT, to make your code like this, because it's gonna be make easier for you to fix it up later. Other than that, we'll see you guys next couple videos. All right, see you guys. Peace.